An ordinance of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, to amend the zoning regulations and the zoning map of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, so as to rezone the property located at 1023 South Seminole Drive, 3118 Ringgold Road, tax map number 156N-F-106, C2 General Commercial District, O1 Office District, and R1 Residential District, to R3 Residential Apartment District. Do you want to do a presentation? Yes, sir. Yes. Good evening, guys. Okay. I just have a small sheet for you guys. Do you want, Danny, do you need the name and address? It's PJ Patel, 1015 South Seminole Drive. Thank you. The objective of this project, when we first started out, was to anchor development on that side of the town. The majority of the new development is centered on the east side of it. There's nothing that's going on the west side of the town. So we figured, we have the land, and let's develop something there on that side so it would attract new businesses. It would support the existing businesses there, right? And the complex is targeted the upper middle class, and the retiree who would not want to, maintain their houses and things like that, right? So what we are actually proposing today is the upscale apartment complex. It's not Section 8. It's a pretty good, viable. It's almost an $11 million investment on that side of the town. And the conception people have over there on that side, it's completely different, than what I'm actually proposing. It's a huge development on that side. I'm taking a lot of risk. It would, alone, over the 20 years of time, would generate about $2 million in property taxes for city and county. Also, it would contribute about $1 million to adjacent local businesses for, when people need food, entertainment, and basic living expenses, sales tax, and things like that. It would add more jobs and support, existing jobs there. And also, it would bring up that land. It's been sitting there vacant. There's nothing there. It's been sitting vacant for a very long time. So bring that area up a little bit. It would actually, the beauty, it makes it visually very attractive. Whenever we have this, as you can see in the rendering there, everybody can see that in the rendering. It's not one of those apartment complexes that it's not designed properly. It's designed by the reputed architect in town. A lot of people concerned about the traffic. I think that's the main thing. So I have conducted a traffic study there, and I have a traffic engineer here, with us, so we can give you a little bit more insights and answer the questions for the people. I also have my architect here with me, who will address any of your questions you have for the water runoff, sewers, and things like that. So, the majority of the concern will be, we'll go over with the people that I have on my team. So, the crime that they're talking important that we have a safe environment where people live, and that will be my, priority there, there'll be a safe complex, not add more crime to that already there is, right? So I'm willing to adopt the crime addendum that the city, recently endorsed for a lot of the apartment owners. I have attended the meeting. It was very informative. And I decided that I'm going to adopt that for my apartment complex. So I just want to bring people with, nice background, and, with no crime history or anything like that. There is nobody can, every city has crimes. There is not one city that doesn't have crime. But as a business owner, how you, prevent the crime, that's very important, right? So that's what my approach, is on every business. People point out several businesses that I have, a lot of police calls and things like that, right? I have one thing to say to you all, when there is a police call, there is an emergency, right? When you see somebody, hitting somebody, instead of taking the law in your hand, you will call the police and prevent that from happening. So when you make that call, it logs into the system, and it brings it out as if this is a bad business because something just happened there. I don't want it to be there, but it just happened there. So if you don't want me to call the police, you may just let him hit the person and just have him there to die. If you do, you're damned. If you don't do, you're damned. So this is just my approach. Is when we call the police for something happen, it's had to be serious. Otherwise, we wouldn't call it. Sometimes we don't even know. Somebody in the parking lot called, something happened. Some of these police reports have been based on the addresses. They're not just, sometimes when we call it for something that happened. So the objective of the police report is public information, but it shouldn't be used towards, like actually condemning a business. But we should analyze it. Basically, what was the reason it's called? Someone could be dying there if they didn't call the police, right? So that's my thing about the police report. It's public information. It's there. Use it wisely. Just do not throw it out there to intimidate people. I've had the store there for a while. I've never been robbed there. I've get 400 customers in and out, 500 customers in and out on an average basis. But that's not what I'm here for. I'm here for this apartment complex. I'm trying to bring that side up. I don't have any hidden agendas for this apartment complex. I'm the one who's taking a lot of risk. The rent that they're talking about, $1,250 on the page there, I have made a comparison chart there. As you can see, there are a lot of these apartment complexes around there who offers similar amenities. Their rent is pretty much in the ballpark of what I'm asking, right? But the rent, we can adjust. That's not a problem. The main thing is, I want to rent to good people. I want to bring good people into the town, especially in this apartment complex that I'm building, right? So that is the agenda. The rent, it could fluctuate. It doesn't matter. But as long as I have good people living in there, be able to improve the community, and that is my major thing. Is $1,250. It's not a stuck number. We can adjust as time goes, but I can assure you that there will never be a second there. And I will do a proper vetting process for this apartment complex of people who live in it. So that is there, and the traffic study, that if you want to talk about the traffic issues there, I think the majority of this community, they have traffic issues. I have a traffic impact study here, and I think I've sent one to you too, Kenny. I have a traffic engineer here. If any questions he has, I don't know much about traffic studies and impacts. It's all numbers. But I think it will explain more in details and make recommendations. It's a big project. making a recommendation, it would help the flow of the traffic. I think if you guys would listen and make a decision based on that, that would be greatly appreciated.
PJ, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
When you did the base rent price for 2-bedroom and you compared amenities, what amenities are you going to have outside?
Amenities, I've listed in this. Amenities is like basically higher ceilings. We have a gated community that's great amenities on that side. And a granite countertop, stainless steel appliances in the kitchen, a business center, adult park, little swimming pool there with also the pavilion with outdoor grill by the swimming pool, custom showers, handicap accessible apartments, on-site maintenance, on-site manager, access to them, whenever they need them, 24/7. Those are the amenities that I'm actually able to offer there in this apartment complex. I've looked at the similar amenities and compared with these apartments that I have put it in here, and their rent is within a ballpark range. So the rent is not, I'm not asking like an outrageous amount, but this is based on the numbers people that are asking around telling me. I'm not just looking at East Ridge. I'm trying to bring people from outside to East Ridge to live. So that's what my area is bigger, to comparison. If you only compare East Ridge, there is no comparison because the apartment complex that I'm able to offer, we don't have one. The amenities that I'm offering, we don't even have one comparison there. So I have a traffic engineer here. We'll ask him some questions, and if you allow, I'll bring him up here, and then we'll go on with the next subject.
Good evening, council members. My name is Stephen Meyer. I was born and raised in East Ridge. I was the traffic engineer that was hired by the city to do the majority of the traffic work for Exit 1. And I did the signal timing, the traffic signal design, as well as the signal timing for Exit 1. And I also implemented new signal timing plans along Ringo Road, all the way from the bridge down to Exit 1. So you should have noticed in the last few months that as you travel down Ringo Road, that you're getting more green lights than you used to. I don't know if you've noticed that or not, but I did quite a few field tests in that particular regard. In this particular application, what I did is took the information that PJ had on his site plan with the 80 units. I used national standards for trip generation on the number of trips that would be coming out of the new development during the times of 7:30 to 8:30 a.m. and 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. In the analysis, I did indicate that there is going to be additional delays on the queue that approaches northbound on South Seminole Drive onto Ringo Road. I also know that the signal timing, since I developed the signal timing at Camp Jordan, or at South Seminole and Ringo, I know that additional left turn green time can be applied to that particular approach. Now that particular change can be made, and if it's requested by your traffic supervisor, Mike Haley, to the city of Chattanooga, those changes can be made. Yes, there will be delays that do occur from people coming out of the development. Anticipating probably close to 40 trips coming out in the morning and then another 50 coming in the evening. However, with gaps that can be created with an increase in the left turn arrow at northbound South Seminole Drive, that the people can get out, and it could possibly also reduce the queuing that occurs. Now, obviously, from the 7:30 to 8:30 a.m., that's the worst time when the queuing does occur, and it's just like 8 pounds of potatoes in a 6-pound sack. That's the same type of issue we had down Ringo Road until I was able to get some longer cycle links down there. But the level of service at the traffic signal is not necessarily degraded. There is maybe a couple of seconds additional for each car that occurs there, but it's not going to be like Hamilton Place at Christmas time. Okay, there's going to be additional traffic that occurs there. I mean, if he has development that's anticipated, yes, there'll be additional traffic. But overall, the delays that will occur from northbound traffic will be a few extra seconds, but it should not, if people left a little earlier in the morning and came to the intersection a little bit earlier, it would help as well. So overall, it's not going to degrade it to a point to where people are backed up to John Ross Road. So it's not that large of an impact on the existing traffic that's out there. So according to my report, I make the recommendation to have Mike Haley contact the folks at the City of Chattanooga to make the adjustments as needed when the development's complete. Are there other questions?
Can they make that adjustment just for that one intersection?
Yes,
Or
they can.
don't interfere with all the other?
Yes, they can. Yes, they can. Each of the intersections has a fiber optic cable that's connected to it, and it can be communicated to directly from the City of Chattanooga. It can make it, and they can make it for certain times of day as well. Okay, so if Mike goes out and reviews that, he might make a recommendation to the City of Chattanooga, and they can make the adjustments accordingly.
Steve, could those changes be made now prior to the development being completed?
They could. They could. Once again, Mike has done an excellent job in monitoring the traffic, and he and I spent a lot of time when Exit 1 went through. We made a tremendous number of adjustments to accommodate the traffic through Exit 1. And the same type of adjustments could possibly be made here. So there needs to be a balance between the amount of traffic that's northbound on South Seminole, southbound on South Seminole, as well as east and westbound on Ringgold Road. So, you know, it's we can twist the knobs a little bit and make some adjustments as needed. Other questions? Thank you.
Also have my engineer here from March Adams. He's also very experienced, and he will address the water runoff, those kind of issues.
My name is Thomas Retzik. I'm a registered professional engineer in the state of Tennessee, and I represent March Adams, which is an engineering firm in Chattanooga that employs about 40 engineers and technicians. And basically, we're problem solvers. And everybody here has brought up problems, and I'm going to set this right here so I can point to it when I'm talking. Yeah, and I'll come around because everybody's seen the map over there, but I want to give you some pointers. It's a tough lot. It is not an easy lot to develop, and so you're getting 2 retaining walls on the hill to create flat spots, and then this apartment complex is wedged into the hill with 4 apartments on the front and 3 on the back. So we're taking advantage of the natural grade. The rest of this area is flat, and we can build a 3-story apartment there. And we've accommodated 80 units in just 3 buildings, and we've got all the parking that is required in the middle here. And the traffic pattern is semicircular. When you come off of South Seminole Drive and come into the apartment complex, the fire department always wants an exit. They don't want to go into the apartment complex, get wedged in there, and they can't turn around. So we put this road was exit only up here. Now this would be worked out with TDOT to make sure, and if we need to put a deceleration lane, a merging lane in here, we would put a merging lane in there. And that's the kind of thing that when you have a big engineering firm like March Adams, we work with TDOT, we work with the WWTA, we work with the city, we work with the city engineers to get all the problems solved. And as far as the sewer goes, when you've got 80 units, it sounds like a lot, it sounds like a big problem. I'm working on a 300 unit subdivision and all the sewers on an 8-inch line. So 300 houses can be on an 8-inch sewer line. So we're not talking like a huge load, and it's usually metered out over 24 hours. We work with the WWTA, and we get all that on paper, and a study is submitted to them before the apartment complex gets approved. So we've got road issues, we've got sewer issues, we've got grade issues, and we've got drainage issues. Well, I'm telling you, you don't ever add any more water to the stormwater system. That's why we have retention and detention. And what happens is this lot is very tight, so we're going to put pipes under the parking lot from end to end with catch basins. All water goes in, stays underground, and is metered out at whatever size pipe is equated to the pre-development runoff. So the pre-development runoff is a benchmark that we can't overstate. We have to stay at that level. So the post-development runoff will be sent into your drainage system at the same or lesser amount even than it's coming out. When we will retain water in under the parking lot. And like I said, it's a tough lot to develop. If you go into North Chattanooga right now, everybody's built on these sloped lots. That's about all that's left. And when you've got land like this that is a tough lot to develop, it's not going to get developed. You're going to be sitting on it for years. And when PJ came to me and showed me this, March Adams was involved from day one, looking at the existing contours, looking at how this apartment complex could be put on the site, how the buildings could be wedged into the side of the hill, how the parking could be put in. He wanted to go 96 units. We couldn't do 96 units because we want to make sure you got enough parking that can be put on the lot and make it right. So based on city ordinances, general industry standards, state regulations, everything that can possibly be put on to a developer, we are going to consider it all. Any questions?
Any questions, Council?
Your retention, that's going to be underground?
Yes, sir.
Is it going to be natural flow to run off, or is it going to be pump operated?
No, it'll be gravity flow. We'll find, yeah,
Where you going to find them, going toward Ringo Road, or down in the low spot of Seminole there?
well, depending on what the final design is, we will address that. And one of the things that you have to consider right now is that you're saying, okay, rezone the property. Okay, we haven't figured out every last questionable design element yet. So I'm just saying that we can have multiple outlets. We can go both directions. We can meter it so that neither one is overwhelmed. But, you know, the design, that's what will be worked out with all your different departments. That we have to make every one of those departments happy. And I can have a drainage guy put a big kibosh on things that I got to really work hard to overcome. And that's what we do.
Any other questions, Council? So, having to answer the questions, the traffic study, the citizen had questions and concern, we answered that question. By adding a few extra green arrow signal towards going northbound, where it even actually helped the whole process. Even after you put the apartment complex, it will help the flow, adjusting the traffic signal. So that was one of the problems. I think we addressed it. The second thing is water runoff. I think that was we got March Adams involved in there and answered the questions for you. Hopefully he's satisfied with the answer that he had. So, basically that's all I have to say. It's, if you look around the district, it's the beginning of a new life. You see a lot of new development going on. You see there's a lot of hopeful people around town. So East Street is coming up. East Street is coming up, So I can add that growth by, starting this development on the west side of the East Ridge. Hopefully people see that development and they will develop more businesses or more something else on that side of the town. That will be the actual pioneer project, what the city is really called, Pioneer City. So I consider this project as a pioneer project for the west side. That would add more growth on the west side of the town. Hopefully, those businesses that are vacant on that side, you see a lot of shopping center with empty, vacant spaces. If they see the development is going there, hopefully they will rent it and do some business there, and then we all can actually, work together and make this a safer community. Any questions you guys have? Thank you, sir. Thank you guys, I appreciate it.
Actually, I'm sorry. I know there were some concerns as to if this were to get approved. I don't see any sidewalks outside the subdivision, outside the entrance there. Would you be willing to put a plan together to accommodate where children could come and safely?
Absolutely, the school bus route, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. I just didn't see any sidewalks outside.
The school bus route, definitely I can work with the school system and develop something like that. And I'm open to work with you guys in whatever manners it is, and I will work extensively to accommodate whatever that is. And I will work with the community members, like the next door neighbor, Bill Lane. He had a concern, and I told him I will address that for you. There's no problem for that. If I could do something, I will do it.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Other questions? Thank you, sir. I've answered all the questions that there's that traffic and the water issues. Thank you. Thank you. Council, we have ordinance 1080.
I'd like to make a motion to remove it and put it out here to vote on. Bring it off the table.
Got a motion to remove the table by Councilman Cagle.
Second motion.
Second by Vice Mayor Hilton. Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Hilton,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Webb,
Yes.
Mayor Williams,
Yes.
Vice Mayor.
Yes.
All right, we have approval to remove from the table. Do we have any other discussion? Do we have a motion?
Voted tonight to make this R3, correct? The whole partial R3.
This ordinance is to, correct me if I'm wrong.
It is. Now, one thing I need to fix on the heading, we have it just as one tax map there is 016, well, 156N-F-016. We need to also include that it is also 156N-F-017, which is the property, it's a little more north, the northern property that's got the address 3118 Wrinkle Road. But yeah, to answer the question is, it would be to rezone all the properties, both on R2 residential apartment district.
It's a combination of a C2, O1, and an R1.
It is.
All the R to R3.
And I should have called my heading, the caption, and added the O instead of an apology.
Motion from anyone? Direction of ordinance 1080?
Bad as I hate to lose the tax money, and hate to see that piece of property go back to tent city, as I call it. I had to call the city up there to clean all the tents out of the brush and stuff. I'm gonna make a motion to deny ordinance 1080.
We have a motion by Councilman Cagle to deny. Do we have a second? We have a second by Vice Mayor Helton. Roll call, Ms. Miller.
Vice Mayor Helton,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Webb. Yes. Mayor Williams.
Yes. Motion has been denied. Our ordinance has been denied. Ordinance number 1091, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, to amend the East Ridge City Code, Title 8, Chapter 2, Section 8-212, titled Interference with Public Health, Safety, and Morals Prohibited.
I'd like to make a motion to approve ordinance 1091 with the amendments that would require a public hearing anytime that there will be a beer permit request. We give the public hearings for just about any and everything, so I just like how the citizens come in and just like tonight. The audience is packed here, so.
So we have a motion on the table to approve ordinance 1091 with caveat of having a required beer permitting, public hearing for beer permit request. We have a motion from Councilman Cagle. Do we have a second? One last call. Do we have a second for the motion on the table? Motion dies, like a second. Do we have another motion? Ordinance 1091.
Second.
We have a motion to approve by Vice Mayor Hilton. We have a second by Councilmember Chauncey. Do you have any discussion? Roll call, Ms. Millen.
Vice Mayor Helton,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
No.
Councilmember Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Webb. Yes. Mayor Williams.
Yes. Motion approved.
city manager application review and interview process. Since the last meeting, we have engaged MTAS to do a applicant review and scoring assessment. MTAS has returned that scoring assessment, provided that to all the council members, and I wanted to report to the council to determine the process for go forward on the interview process for the applicants. Whether we interview all 8 that we actually reviewed and scored, if we pick the top 3. So I want to bring it forward to the council to get a consensus on how we want to move forward. I would like to interject that I would like to get citizens' input and questions concerning questions for our city manager applicants. I would recommend a format similar to the way we did the council member forum, that we could have our issues used online, field the questions from the citizens, gather those questions, categorize those, combine live questions, and then present those questions from the citizens to the applicants during the interview process to get citizens' input and questions brought forward and answered. So I'd ask for that to be considered during the interview process, but I'd like to open this up for discussion with the council how you'd like to proceed.
We go back to interviewing the top 5.
Top 5 based upon council recommendations or on the scoring chart from the test.
We have the council, do y'all want to go with the MTS scoring, or do we want to?
I'm pretty happy with the MTAS scoring. Me personally, I like to start with the top 3 in the same order.
So,
Well, sorry.
oh, continue.
I guess it doesn't necessarily be in that order. I would like to hear from the top 3 applicants.
Well, that's a lot. First, top 6.
So the issue with the top 5, Councilman Witt, is the 6th one is tied with the scoring index as actually the 4th, 5th, and 6th have the same scoring. So I think if we did win on based on scoring, I would agree probably the top 6. If we didn't do just the top 3. The top 3 have 30, 30, and 29. The next 3 are tied at 28 on the scoring.
Do you have any idea, like, for one interview, is it going to take up the time of an entire council meeting? I haven't been through that process before, so one interview would.
No. We interviewed, I think, 3 at the last one, they took about 2 hours. When we hired Mr. Miller.
Yeah, we would have to coordinate. They could be in at the same time. It could require call meetings. I would like to have, like I said, citizen input via Easter's News Online, conducting that and presenting those questions. I think it would be good if we could actually have them here and maybe have, a public reception, public to meet them if possible. So it's all about timing with the candidates. So it's hard to say, Councilman Swanson. We could try to fit it into a single council meeting based on timing and
I'm
schedule.
actually just curious of how long the interview process takes per applicant. But mean, I'm open to hearing from all 8 of them, but definitely all 6 of them, if that's, or I'm sorry, the top 6.
I have looked some of these up on the computer, some of them couldn't find anything about them. Some of them I did, and I don't like what I found.
So, well, that's one of the benefits from MTAS. They have more information and they have more contacts, and that's why it was a great benefit for MTAS to provide additional information on these candidates from their past relationships with them.
Just like, I don't know the name, yours one, couldn't find a period on the computer. Yours one, I found why he quit. Yours one, I found why they resigned, didn't like why they resigned. And that's one of those public knowledge tonight, but, store, I just like to ask, what is similarity?
Trying to consider it based on a city of our type.
Correct.
City of our type. This gentleman scored a 10, city of our type, 240,000 people. It's not a city of our type. So,
And I believe it's, if you look at the largest, it says largest population, so that's going to be the largest population throughout their career that they've managed,
right.
not necessarily their last holding. Most of these individuals have managed smaller cities, much smaller than ours, less services than ours. Some of them larger.
Some of them here have managed smaller cities our size, their whole entire lives.
Yes.
One of them here, I think he scored very high, no way, but he wasn't actually what we call a city manager, he owned a management company.
So I think Mr. Cagle, I think I sent the scoring index definitions, if I'm not mistaken. I was trying to look those up and find those, but I can send those to you as well. Explain each one of these categories and how they were ranked, and how the ranking was conducted. But I'm good if we use the top 3 or we do the top 6. We'd like to get a direction so we can start moving forward with this sooner than later. We should move the motion.
Yes, I like to always memorialize it, so yes, I prefer, if you want to do it by the motion, whether or not you want to go with 3 or 6, and if you want to go with the process that's having questions submitted, kind of a community forum, which I believe you said at the East Ridge Online News, Mr. Cook can take those and identify the like questions and kind of combine those, and those will be presented to those respective candidates.
Make a motion to interview the top 6 in the community forum with questions submitted by, I say, the citizens and council.
A second.
We have a motion by Vice Mayor Elton and a second by Councilmember Wood. Do we have any other discussion?
I guess one thing is Mr. Cook may need to agree to field those questions.
I agree. I'll help any way I can.
Thanks for confirming that.
Well, I hate to put Mr. Cook on the spot there.
Just for purposes of clarity, I had communication with the mayor today. He asked me earlier. I agreed to do it then. There's no surprise.
I didn't want to put Mr. Cook on the spot. Any other discussion? Roll call, Ms. Clerk.
Vice Mayor Dalton?
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle?
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Webb? Yes. Mayor Williams?
Yes. Excellent. Who can we start?
I'll talk to HR in the morning.
Yes, we start reaching out, contacting availability for, is council open to call meetings? Not that doing anything, we're going to just try to get the schedule in as quickly as we can with their schedule, so we can start moving forward. We'll try to work with normal agenda session, but we may have to adjust and do a call meeting for these, but we'll try to make it public and attend if at all possible. We'll move into new business. I would like to ask council's agreement to move item J and K forward. There's some people here that would like to bring forward and discuss J and K in front of all our code ordinances. Do I have consent to move these forward?
I think, yes, just that way we get council approval on the consensus of kind of moving J and K out of order up to the front of the new business.
Make a motion to move resolution number 2894 and 2895 to the front of the agenda.
We have a motion by Vice Mayor Hilton,
I second.
second by Councilmember Johnson. Roll call, Ms. Miller.
Vice Mayor Dalton?
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle?
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Webb? Yes. Mayor Williams?
Yes. Item J.
Resolution number 2894, a resolution of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Waller, Lanston, Dorch, Davis, LLP to act as Government Affairs Counsel to the City of East Ridge in regard to matters before the Tennessee General Assembly.
I don't see Ms. Watson here. I thought she may be. But this is Nicole, who actually has been since 2016 or prior
Yes, sir.
as our city council for legal matters and government affairs for our legislature. So, do I have a motion on the floor for resolution 2894?
I make a motion for resolution 2894.
A motion by Councilmember Witt.
Is that the approve or deny?
It's approved.
Okay.
Have a motion by Councilmember Witt, second by Vice Mayor Hilton. Any discussion? Roll call, Ms. Miller.
Vice Mayor Dalton?
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle?
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Webb? Yes. Mayor Williams?
Yes.
Resolution 2895, a resolution of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, to waive the fee for use of Camp Jordan Arena by the River City Corvette Club for a fundraiser to help benefit the East Ridge Need Child Fund.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council members. For the last 4 years, we've had our car show. Chuck Logan, 811 Belmore Hill Circle, I am an East Ridge resident.
I'm the president of the
Well, no, Ronnie's president. He just made me come up. For the last 4 years, we've had our car show at Camp Jordan Arena. The city has waived a $1,500 rental fee, and we donate half of our proceeds of raised throughout the year to the East Street Needy Children's Fund. In December, we presented a check for $4,150 to the East Street Needy Child Fund. So I'm here to ask that you would allow us to have our car show on August the 3rd, 2019, and waive the $1,500 fee with the same stipulation that we donate half of our money back to the East Street Needy Child Fund. And as I mentioned to you earlier, we'd like to also get that in the works for 2020 as well, so that we can get our flyers printed up and distributed at this car show to help generate more people coming in next year, and so on and so forth.
Excellent. Great organization supporting another great organization, so we appreciate y'all. Do we have a motion? A motion by Vice Mayor Hilton,
Second.
second by Councilmember Witt. Do we have any discussion? Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Hilton.
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle.
Yes.
Councilmember Chauncey.
Yes.
Councilmember Witt.
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Thank you.
We'll go back up to 9A. Ordinance number 1093, an ordinance to amend Title 12, Building and Utility Codes, Chapter 1, to amend various sections and certain appendices of the code as revised and amended to provide for adoption of the International Building Code 2018 edition, International Residential Code 2018 edition, the adoption of the fancy national standards of the official handicap accessibility code of the City of East Ridge, Energy Conservation Code 2018 edition to provide for an amend and revised fee schedule with respect to all building-related codes of the City of East Ridge.
All the codes we're required by state law to adopt. We have to adopt an edition. It's 7 years from the latest published edition. The last code adoption we went through was in 2012. This is adopted 2018 edition with the similar amendments that we had during the 2012 adoption.
Do we have a motion for ordinance 1093?
Before we vote on this, can I ask a question? Can we get all captions read and make one vote?
We could. Yeah. These are all.
Instead of voting for 9 times?
I think I asked that question before the meeting.
Yeah. We have to turn to the consent agenda, and I'll continue with ordinance number 1094. An ordinance to amend Title 7, East Ridge City Code, Chapter 2, Section 7-201, 7-202, 7-203, 7-204, 7-206, 7-207, so as to adopt the 2018 edition of the International Fire Code and the 2018 edition of the NFPA 101 Life Safety Code and certain appendices and annexes as revised and amended as the official fire codes of the City of East Ridge, and to amend said codes regarding scope. Ordinance number 1095, an ordinance to amend Title 12, East Ridge City Code, Chapters 4, Sections 12-402, 12-403, 12-404, 12-406, 12-407, 12-408, and 12-410, so as to adopt the 2018 edition of the International Fuel Gas Code and certain appendices as revised and amended as the official gas code of the City of East Ridge, to amend certain sections as they relate to fees and license requirements. Ordinance number 1096, an ordinance to amend East Ridge City Code, Article 12, Chapter 3, Section 12-301, in order to adopt the National Electrical Code of 2017 as the official electrical code of the City of East Ridge, and to revise certain language under Sections 12-306 regarding non-refundable fees. Ordinance number 1097, an ordinance to amend Title 12, Chapter 2, East Ridge City Code, Section 12-201 through 12-204, so as to adopt the 2018 edition of the International Plumbing Code as revised and amended as the official plumbing code of the City of East Ridge, and to amend and revise certain fees for plumbing permits. Ordinance number 1098, an ordinance to amend Title 12, East Ridge City Code, Chapter 8, Sections 12-801, 12-805, 12-806, to revise certain sections so as to adopt the 2018 edition of the International Mechanical Code and certain appendices as revised and amended as the official mechanical code of the City of East Ridge, and to amend said code regarding scope, permits, permit fees, expiration, and violation penalties. Ordinance number 1099, an ordinance to amend Title 12, Building and Utility Codes, Chapter 9, Sections 12-901, 12-902, 12-905, and to revise certain sections so as to adopt the 2018 edition of the International Existing Building Code as the official existing building code of the City of East Ridge. Ordinance number 1100, an ordinance to amend Title 12, Chapter 5, Section 12-501 through 12-504, establishing the maintenance of all property, buildings, and structures, providing the standards for supplied utilities and facilities and other physical things and conditions essential to ensure that structures are safe, sanitary, and fit for occupational use, and the condemnation of buildings and structures unfit for human occupation and use in the demolition of such structures known as the International Property Maintenance Code of 2018 edition. Ordinance number 1101, an ordinance to amend Title 12, Chapter 7, Section 12-701, establishing the standards for the design, construction, or installation, alteration, repair, or alterations of swimming pools and spas, public or private, and equipment related thereto, by adopting the International Swimming Pool and Spa Code 2018 edition.
I have a question on all these codes. I read them today and it just struck me as equally the new section of 302 on 11 right-of-ways,
Which ordinance?
All property maintenance.
ordinance number 1100. And it states the property owners are going to be responsible for the right-of-way that adjoins their property.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if I've got a piece of property that's adjoining the right-of-way, we got a stop sign sitting out there with a big old tree, I'm going to have to maintain that tree so that stop sign can be seen?
No,
Okay.
it's just to take care of the swells with the grass
Okay.
that abuts the roadway.
Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Second.
We have a motion by Vice Mayor Hilton and a second by Councilmember Chauncey. Do we have any other discussion? Roll call, Ms. Miller.
Vice Mayor Hilton,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Webb,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Resolution number 2896, agreement with Chattanooga Red Wolves as it relates to training facility within Camp Jordan Park. I can provide an update that it's our understanding, as I hopefully relayed clearly to, it started first with TDEC under their Division of Recreation and Education Services. There's been contact with representatives of that division. They have at least, what I understand is there's not been an approval by the RES yet, but they have at least found that the arrangement as proposed by the Chattanooga Red Wolves at least passes enough muster to be presented to the National Park Services
That's, again, not a blessing of the Recreation Education Services, and they were clear to tell me that, but it's enough that they want to pass it to the National Park Services, and it's our understanding that was to be passed either to them today or tomorrow upon completion of a few more items that they're requesting from the Red Wolves. I don't have a timetable for you. I don't know. I can tell you that my understanding it goes down to Atlanta as the regional area for the National Park Services. There's 6 or 7 regions throughout the country. This area happens to be in the Atlanta region, which is really all the southeast states essentially. And so I don't know where the review process or procedure for that.
Any questions? Thank you, sir. Really just continue to look at the agenda.
Please, I'll have a discussion item probably in regards to this at the 6 o'clock meeting next month to try to run a parallel path so we don't encounter these type of issues moving forward with any of our city owned property.
Last one that we moved up, if you recall, from the 6 o'clock agenda is going to be the new item M. This is Resolution 2897, a resolution of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, authorizing the city manager to approve the attached change order request from Integrated Properties LLC in regard to the electrical wiring of the scoreboards at Camp Jordan Park.
Mr. Mayor and Council, as you recall, in the 6 p.m. meeting, I came to you and with a request to approve the change order from Integrated Properties in the amount of $17,500 to upgrade our electrical wiring to our scoreboards at fields 1 through 4 and 9 through 12.
Motion approved as agreed, not to exceed.
I'll second
A motion not to exceed by Councilman Cagle, a second by Councilman Chauncey. Any discussion? Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Hilton,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Webb,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. This concludes our regular scheduled meeting for February 14th. I wish everyone what's left a very happy Valentine's, and we appreciate you being here with us. Meeting adjourned.